For me, choosing a planner that I'm going to use for the next year is a pretty big decision. And that is mainly because I am not the type of person to change horses midstream. So whatever planner I am committed to starting in the year, that's the planner that I'm going to use, because I save every planner from each year and I don't want to have different piecemeals that I am storing and saving. So for 2022, I used an A5 Stalogy. It's also what I used in 2021. My biggest concern before jumping to a Stalogy was legit, which is having to draw out every week and have that done is time consuming, but I think my ability to design the planner the way that I want to, rather than having to be in the format of, say, like an Erin Condren or a Happy Planner or even a Hobonichi Cousin, it just doesn't work for me to have the month separate from the week, separate from the daily. I want it all together for each month. So I went ahead and decided to stick with the Stalogy for 2023. I'm going with the same size. I just love seeing how one that hasn't been touched, look how thin it is compared to one that has been used. I love the paper. I love that it is such thin paper that I can have multiple pages used and not feel cramped at all. The page size is big enough. I am, however, making some design changes on how I set this up. And so I would like to bring you along with what it is that I have chosen to do and show you kind of how I am setting up my planner for 2023. So the Stalogy has 368 pages. It uses Tomoe River paper, which is very thin. It also has a place at the top where you can highlight the week, the day, the date. It is numbered all the way down on the left-hand side. Every 2 blocks is numbered, so there's 24 lines that are marked on there. I will say, I don't ever highlight the numbers of the days and the weeks here. When I originally chose the Stalogy, I liked the thin pages, but I wanted a bullet journal feel. And something that I've learned over the last 2 years is that just as those pre-printed planner styles don't fit for me for my family planner, the bullet journal method doesn't fit 100% either. And so I'm really planning on backing away in 2023 from the pressures that come with bullet journaling. It's very much an artist's style, and that is not me. And I think some of the pieces of organizing it at the beginning, I think are also not really working as well. And so I'm gonna back away from needing a cover page and needing a theme and all of that, and just using the planner functionally and not pulling in so many artistic pieces. Now, I may decide that I want to incorporate some of that into my planner, but I just don't want the pressure of that. And I think that's what being a bullet journaler has come to mean. So the first thing to note is that I use my Cricut to put a vinyl adhesive on the front to put the year of my planner. This way, as I mentioned, I store my Stalogies and planners from year after year, and so this way it's very clear that this is the planner for 2023. I've chosen Purpose Fuels Passion as a kind of theme rather than a word for the year for me. And again, have used my Cricut to make that graphic to put in the front of the planner. I have my inbox in the front, which is just a brain dump. I got these Post-it notes from Plan with B. They were free, so she provides a printable. You get white Post-it notes, you put it on the template, run it through your printer, and it just kind of tracks those 4 quadrants of items. And so I just kind of scribble on them, and then once I've filled them up, I move them into the section of the year that they are and then replace them with new ones. This is a year in pixels page that I just sized down. This is where I track things like my cycle or headaches or my sleeping issues or injuries or sickness or anything like that. This page is where I am going to track our kids' kind of allowance, basically, for lack of a better word. So our kids do chores around the house. Some of those chores they just do because they are members in our household, but some tasks that they have, I pay them on a weekly basis, and I kind of am the bank. So if we're out and they want to purchase something, they know they have a certain amount of money in the mommy and daddy bank, and we kind of just track and pull from things that they say they want to buy with their money. So this is going to be the cover page for January. I have actually decided that in this section, I am going to journal. So instead, in the past where I might have had a theme and done art or whatever, here is where you can see I have a sticker in the front of it, and each day I'm just going to have 1 or 2 sentences to highlight the day. It's something that I have missed last year that I did not do and really wanted to incorporate journaling again. And so instead of kind of jumping into it with a full journal, I'm just going to do a couple lines and see how that goes. So this is one of the changes that I've done. I am drawing out my monthly view instead of doing printed versions of it and washi taping it in. I have really just felt like I needed more space. I didn't like how the paper would sit in on the Stalogy, and so I figured I would just draw it out. I do still use stickers, however, and I will link that shop below. And then I've just drawn out the week. So I've changed the week to show, rather than having a to-do column on the left, it's just literally the 7 days. So I have 3 columns on each side. For those of you who are big Stalogy users, the count is 11, 11, 12, and then I'm doing 12, 11, 11 on either side to kind of match it in. And then Saturday and Sunday, I've just split in half because typically our weekends tend to be a little bit slower than during the week. And then I have a whole section after that weekly view where I track the to-dos. So I just literally have a running list of things that I need to do and are tracking what I'm reading and what we're watching on TV as a family and games that we're playing and all of that. So I just have that on the section after it. So the thing that I'm so excited about is I took the time at the beginning of the year to draw out my monthly view for the entire month. So I literally counted at the bottom of the pages. You'll see some of them have pencil writings. That's the number of weeks. And I've calculated how many numbers of weeks for 2 pages per week and put it inside of each month, so that I can just track what the month is and the things that I need to do and the appointments that we have right there inside of the planner. And all of the weeks are not drawn out yet. It's just the month. So the other design change is that I have decided to put my goals at the back of the planner so that I can find them really easily. I literally just open up to the end page and it's got my goals. I've also really worked towards differentiating between what is a goal and what is a routine. As I look over my goals in the past few years, I think I've fallen into a mistake of establishing routines and considering those as goals. So previously, I had figured out what my roles were as a Christ follower, as a wife, as a mother, as a healthy person, as a sister, as a daughter, as a friend, as an entrepreneur, all of these different roles that I have, and thought about what do I need to do within them. And it was, go on a date, write letters, exercise this many times, and really got into the quantifiable part of this. But I don't necessarily think now that those were good goals to be set so much as a routine of saying, okay, I want to journal to my kids once a month. That's a routine that I would do at the end of each month, not necessarily a goal to bring me to a deeper place in motherhood, if that makes any sense. And so I really want to spend this time revisiting and reworking my perspective on how it is that I want to establish goals and track them and have them be quantifiable. I then have my future planning page, which again is pulled directly from writer Carol's bullet journal method. I love it. This is for 2024. I can't even believe that is next year. And then I have this section here that is a tracking place for any house projects that we want to keep on top of, as well as just rainy day projects, things that kind of come up. So it's just a place to keep track of those. And I use my Cricut to do those. And then here I just have like wish lists for gift, movies and TV shows that I want to track. So just a tracking place. And then I have one page that has the events of the year as well. I would love to hear what your techniques are for setting goals. So please feel free to leave them in the comments below. Let me know if you are using a Stalogy as well. I think there are a group of us. I would love to connect up with other people who are using Stalogies as well. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time.